Hello students, now I am going to teach you lesson the banyan tree from unit 10. So open the page number 125. In last unit we have seen about the desert animals. In this lesson we will see about the banyan tree. So I am starting from the part 1. Through the house and grounds belonged to my grandparents, the magnificent old banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather, a 65, could no longer climb it. Its spreading branches, which hung to the ground and took root again, forming a number of twisting passages, gave me endless pleasure. So writer is very happy to see that the banyan tree, its branches are well spread, which was hanging through the ground. Among them were squirrels and snails and butterflies. So in that banyan tree, among that tree, there was the squirrels, snails, butterflies who was enjoying their life with the banyan tree. The tree was older than the house, older than a grandfather, as old as a Dehradun itself. So tree was very old. I could hide myself in its branches behind thick green leaves and spy on the world below. So the writer loves to hide himself in that banyan tree and love to watch the world. My first friend was a small grey squirrel, arcing his back and sniffing into the air. He seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy. But when he found that I did not arm myself with the catapult or air gun, he became friendly. And the writer is talking about his first friend who met him in that banyan tree, that was the squirrel. And when I started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuit, he grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from a hand. Before long, he was delving into my pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. He was a very young squirrel, and his friends and relatives probably thought him foolish and headstrong for trusting a human. So this is the small passage about the squirrel and the writer's friendship. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, birds of all kinds would flock into its branches. The red-bottomed bulbul, cheerful and greedy, parrots, myna and crows squabbling with one another. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. So that banyan tree was very big, very spread over along the earth or ground, and among that banyan tree, all the living beings were enjoying their life in that banyan tree. So that is why it was a noisiest place, because there was a small insects also, snails, squirrels, butterflies also. Halfway up the tree, I had built a crude platform where I would spend afternoons when it was not too hot. I could read there, propping myself up against the tree with a cushion from the living room. Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn and the Story of Dr. Dolittle were some of the books that made up my banyan tree library. It means that writer was sitting on that banyan tree and was reading all these books. When I did not feel like reading, I could look down through the leaves at the world below, and on one particular afternoon I had a grandstand view of that classic of the Indian wilds, a fight between a mongoose and a cobra, and when he got bored, he was not in mood to read the story, then he just saw all the other things sitting on the banyan tree. And one day what he saw, the fight between the cobra and the mongoose. Now part 2. The warm breezes of approaching summer had sent everyone, including the gardener, into the house. I was feeling drowsy myself, wondering if I should go to the pond and have a swim with Ramu and the buffaloes when I saw a huge black cobra gliding out of a clump of a cactus. So it was a very hot, it was a summer season, and that time nobody was there. So he was just thinking he should go to swim with buffaloes and Ramu. So, and on that time he saw the cobra was gliding his clumps out of a cactus. At the same time, a mongoose emerged from the bushes and went straight for the cobra. So he was just watching the fight between cobra and the mongoose. In a clearing beneath the banyan tree, in a bright sunshine, they came face to face. The cobra knew only too well that the grey mongoose, 3 feet long, was a super fighter, clever and aggressive. But the cobra too was a skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of a light. And the sacs between his long sharp fangs were full of deadly poison. It was to be a battle of champions, and it looks like champions are fighting with one another. Hissing defiance, his forked tongue darting in and out, the cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground and spread his broad spectacled hood. The mongoose bushed his tail. The long hair on his spine stood up. Thought the combatants were unaware of my presence in the tree, they were soon made aware of the arrival of 2 other spectators. One was a myna, the other a jungle crow. They had seen these preparations for a battle and had settled on the cactus to watch the outcome. And so it seems like that mongoose and the cobra didn't know about the writer who is sitting on the banyan tree and watching their fight. And on that time there was one crow also came and one myna also came to see that fight. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. And they were watching that fight very excitedly. So I hope you understand this. I will continue this lesson in my next video. Thank you.